For 3 long days, a stray dog scratched relentlessly at the hospital doors. Its claws scraped against the wood, echoing through the empty hallways. This wasn't just a hungry dog looking for food or shelter. It seemed like it had a deeper purpose. Day after day, it returned, as though something or someone was waiting for it. Nurse Emma had seen many stray animals in her years of working at the hospital, but this one was different. There was a certain urgency in its actions that piqued her curiosity. On the 4th day, something inside Emma told her to follow the dog. She had watched it from a distance, but this time, she decided to take action. She walked slowly toward the entrance, watching the dog claw at the door again, its eyes focused and determined. There was a sense of desperation in its movements, something that couldn't be ignored. Emma knew that there was something more to this dog's behavior, and she couldn't shake the feeling that it was trying to communicate something. It wasn't just scratching at the door to be let inside. It was asking for help. As Emma stepped closer, the dog paused for a moment and looked at her. Its eyes met hers, as if to confirm that she was the one it had been waiting for. Without hesitation, she followed it. The dog led her through the hospital, its movements sure and purposeful. Emma kept a cautious distance, unsure of what the dog might do next. It moved with intent, like it knew exactly where it was going. Emma was intrigued, but a part of her felt uneasy. She had worked in this hospital for years, but she had never seen a dog act like this. The dog didn't stop at the usual places. It avoided the bustling emergency room, steering clear of the noisy corridors where most staff members worked. Instead, it led her down quieter, less frequented paths of the hospital. Soon, they arrived at a part of the building Emma didn't visit often. The dog stopped in front of a small, unmarked door. It was an old, rusty door, tucked away in the far corner of the hospital, almost forgotten by everyone. The dog sat in front of it and looked back at Emma, its gaze unblinking. Emma hesitated for a moment, unsure of whether she should open the door. But there was something about the dog's stillness that urged her to act. Slowly, she reached for the handle. The door creaked open, its sound unnervingly loud in the otherwise silent corridor. What Emma discovered behind that door was nothing short of shocking. Inside, in the dim light of the abandoned room, lay a bundle of blankets in the corner. As Emma walked closer, her heart began to race. She had no idea what she would find, but nothing could have prepared her for what she saw next. Wrapped in the blankets was a tiny baby, no older than a few months. The baby was curled up tightly, its tiny form barely visible under the fabric. Emma stood there in stunned silence, trying to process what she was seeing. She had followed a dog who had, without a doubt, been trying to lead her to this very moment. The dog had clawed at the door, not because it wanted food or shelter, but because it had found something far more precious, a helpless infant, abandoned and left behind. The realization hit Emma like a wave. The dog had known. It had sensed that something needed to be done. It had understood the urgency of the situation, far beyond what Emma could have imagined. She quickly called for help, her hands shaking as she dialed the emergency number. Within minutes, a team of doctors and nurses arrived, rushing the baby to the emergency ward. The dog, standing silently in the corner, watched as the baby was taken away. Emma, still processing what had just happened, couldn't help but feel a deep sense of gratitude toward the stray dog. It had saved a life, and she would never forget the strange twist of fate that had brought them together. The baby was stable by the time the doctors finished their work. It was a miracle, a life saved thanks to the determination of a stray dog. Nurse Emma, with a lump in her throat, couldn't help but think about the incredible bond between humans and animals. It was a bond that went beyond words, beyond understanding. It was a connection that could change the course of lives. As she looked back at the dog, she realized that sometimes the most extraordinary acts of kindness come from the most unexpected places. If this story touched your heart, please take a moment to subscribe. Some heroes don't wear capes. Some walk on four paws with silent courage and an unshakable instinct to protect. This stray dog didn't just scratch at a door. He scratched his way into our hearts and reminded us that love, loyalty, and compassion often come from the most unexpected souls. By subscribing, you're not just supporting a channel. You're joining a community that believes in the power of empathy, in the voice of the voiceless, and in the magic of second chances. Every subscriber helps us bring more true, emotional stories to light. Stories that matter, that move, that inspire. So, if your heart skipped a beat reading this, hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell icon, and never miss another powerful story again. Let's keep the hope alive, together.